So, welcome to a new cast for StarCastTV. I'm RoyalBlue, and joining me is my co-caster Shroom of Doom. And today we are going to be casting a TVZ. Playing as Terran, we have Light here in the bottom right as our pink Terran. And then over here in the bottom left, we have Hero playing as the Zerg player, and I'm gonna say this is dark green. What do you think, Shroom?
Yeah, it looks, looks about right to me. I do have a bit of color blindness, remember,
Yes, I always do this to you.
It is a red-green deficiency, so I mean, it looks green to me, so
It's some kind of green. We'll just say this is the green. Yeah, we'll say this is the green Zerg. We'll say that so far. And he is sending his Overlord across the map, and it's going to be in the perfect situation to scout Light first with the Overlord. So we'll see where he decides to kind of stash this Overlord, but it's going to give some nice scouting information here in the early game, such as what the command center timing is for Terran.
Yeah, for sure. He's probably going to just float that Overlord outside the natural, above that little dead space, right? So you can definitely, as you were mentioning, see the timing of the command center, right? Really, really important for Zergs to see that scout coming out from Light. Light is going to be able to see that Overlord, so he will be able to correctly deduce that Hero is in the bottom left. This map is Sylphid, by the way, guys. Great map, a little bit of an older map, but a great map, definitely. Yeah, so see what these two great pro gamers can bring to the table.
Yeah, definitely a map we haven't seen as popular lately, but there was a time when Sylphid was one of the more common maps you'll see. It hasn't been in the ladder pool for a little while, I want to say, but nice to see this map back in action. Some of the notable features is it's pretty hard to actually defend against Nicolas sometimes, depending on what location you're in, just because of all the avenues for harass that Zerg does have. But we see here Light is actually lifting their barracks. I don't think they've constructed a single marine, and they're building a depot at their net. So maybe they're trying to like construct some kind of Sim City here.
Yeah, this is actually really popular from Terrans these days. To try to get a wall, it's really meta, yeah. You know, because it really prevents any kind of ling harassment and thing all in. And Light is able to do this because Light Scout, he got into the Zerg base. He saw the Zerg wasn't, going something crazy like, 6 pool, 9 pool, 4 pool, right? And what's crucial is that he kept the SCV alive long enough to see what came out of those eggs, right? And he doesn't see a flood of Zerglings, right? So he's definitely in a good position, right? And if I don't know if you noticed, but Light did go for 15 CC as well, so it was supply barrack command center. But this will give him a little bit of an eco boost. Of course, when you go this build, you don't have to make a second depot because that's the second, well, at least earlier anyway, because the second command, pardon me, you don't have to make a third depot earlier. Sorry about that, because the command center acts as the third depot. So definitely a great economical opening from Light.
Yeah. A nice advantage for Light in the early game here, but it looks like our Zerg player here is going to take the mineral only as a third base, so they may be trying to catch up. And I gotta say, that's a quite early third base, as we see the Spire is now like, 1/4 done, so no Mutalisk out to defend this third base. I think Terran could be able to push here if they get a quick stim timing going. And here they go, they're pushing with 6 Marines. And I think this SCV will see the mineral only. It just depends on where he goes with the scout. There's actually 2 creep colonies being, rushed out right now by Zerg. And I think they're going to be in time to defend. But I worry about this third base. And now here's the sunken. It's actually about half done. And yeah, the Marines may be heading towards that mineral only.
Yeah, what the Light was trying to do with that little move out is that first he saw, he constantly saw what was in the natural to Zerg. He saw the Zerg was not making more Zerglings and such, right? So he thought he could maybe punish the front. At the very least, the move out forces the Zerg to either make more Zerglings, which you don't want, right? Because that hurts your economy, or to make sunken colonies, okay? And that also hurts your economy, right? Like basically, what happened is Hero made one sunken colony, so that's basically one free drone kill already from Light, right? Unfortunately, what you were saying earlier with that SV, Light did not see that third hatchery. I really do think if he had scouted that with that third hatchery, since no additional Zerglings were made, he probably would have been able to put a lot of pressure on that hatchery and kill it with that little move out. It's a little bit unfortunate for Light there. Mutalisks are out now for the Zerg, and it is now basically up. We'll have to see. You know, the dance starts. You know, the dance between the Mutalisk and Marines, right? As the Terran tries to defend his base against the Zerg. Turrets already up and in good positions. Like turrets covering the main natural and the barrack spawn area. The Light seems to be in good position to defend.
Yeah, this is a really interesting play from Light. I think they seem pretty solid on the turret timing, and they're definitely going to be safe from these Mutalisks. There's only 6 mutas out right now, and it's given Zerg some kind of map control because it's pushed Light back into his main. But this is not like a scary amount of Mutalisks for the amount of Marine Medic on the map. And I'm actually interested by Light because he's taken only one guy is on gas right now in his main. So I'm pretty sure that means he specifically took people off gas. Okay, and now they're going back onto gas. I just wonder what that kind of a timing is about. But you see the Mutalisks going in and out. One of them is taking heavy damage, but they're all alive still.
Look at this from Hero. Hero is playing with fire, but he's going to get away with it. Carapace already on the way. Fast Evolution Chamber, fast Queen's Nest. Hive is on the way, so he's going to go into that really, really meta, like crazy Zerg style that we see. You see 4th base already going down. The way Hero is doing it is so greedy, so greedy. Usually, you know, you want to get more Mutalisks when doing this to keep the Terran honest, right? But he's basically just keeping Light back with 5 Mutalisks. He's faking out Light, because Light doesn't know he has 5 Mutalisks, but looks like Light is moving out right now, so Hero better get some kind of defense up or he might just lose, right?
Yeah, here's a new group of Mutalisks, but as you're saying, this is very greedy play from Zerg. They're really going to rely on their Mutalisk control to try to keep them in the game and keep this Marine group away from their hatchery. And yeah, taking that 4th base now and potentially taking the gas up there could be crucial, but it looks like Terran has scanned that location and is stimming and sending a group of Marines up there to maybe try to snipe this hatch, knowing that the Zerg is trying to get gas up here. I wonder if Light is just not concerned by the extra minerals at this mineral only for Zerg, because they don't seem too interested in pushing there.
This is huge.
Wow.
This is huge.
Some big shots by those Mutalisks, but he does lose the hatchery.
Hero, yeah, getting a little too greedy there. He didn't have enough Mutalisks really to counter Light's move on. He does lose this 4th base. Crucially, it is the gas base. Now, I mean, obviously, these guys are a million times better at StarCraft than me, but I really have to question Hero's choice of the 3rd base when he was trying to go for this kind of style, right? Because it does not have a gas. And you know, actually, look at this. We see Defiler Mound coming down, so, you know, maybe Defiler Mound and Ultraless Cavern coming down. So, you know, I'm not a total noob. I called it. I don't know what's going on. It is basically a crazy Zerg style, right? But again, without that 3rd gas, and the 3rd gas is going to be really, really delayed from Hero, I just don't feel like this strategy will be that strong, you know?
Yeah, I would agree that the 3rd gas should have been up by now for Zerg. We see Zerg is pretty gas starved, so it's going to be hard for them to get a lot of Ultralisks out or even to pay for the Ultralisk upgrades. But here's a counterattack as Zerg is seeing Terran move out. They're sending in a group of Zerglings and Mutalisks, but some Fire Bats come out just in time to kind of force Zerg back, and now Terran is knocking on the door right outside the Zerg net, and they've got a siege tank with this army, so they're going to try to siege down these Sunkens.
Yeah, this looks dark for Hero. You know, Light I feel in a commanding position. I like the run by Light with a backstab sword, but those fire bats, man,
Yeah.
the timing was impeccable. So, okay, here comes a huge Lynx around. Nicolas diving on the Marines, Lynx surrounding Marines.
I think he's going to do it. I think Zerg can clean this up. That was crazy. That was a really nice flank. But here's a drop from Light coming into the main, actually. And it's got some fire bats in it. But, you know, Hero has kept the Nicolas alive. Here comes the drop, though, and the fire bats are getting right on top of these drones. The Nicolas coming in.
Is it a drone barbecue? Can we get those shots?
Ooh.
Good micro. Good micro from Hero. You know, it could have been a lot worse. The drop did do damage, so, you know, I'm not against it. It did do good damage, but I mean, props on Hero. It could have been a lot worse. Yeah. Marines heading up to the fourth, trying to hit the fourth again, but going to be cleaned up by some feedlings. And I mean, he does get a couple of drones. Not bad, not bad. Like getting picks where he can. Right. Another drop in the main. Getting even more drones. He's focusing the Fowler now with 3 Marines. You should really get the rest of them focused. Okay, good. He will get it? He doesn't get the Fowler now. That would have been huge if he got it.
Yeah, this has been some good play from Light, just keeping Hero back and pinned to their base. Hero does now have this third gas up, however, so that may be able to help their macro kind of switch into gear, but their drone count has been limited. They built a ton of Zerglings, and now here's an engage in the middle. The Defiler gets sniped out before it really casts any spells. And look at this Firebat in the middle with medics surrounding it, just doing so much damage.
Hero Firebat.
Repair the Firebat. Oh, and so the Firebat does finally get taken out there, but not before killing, you know, many Zerglings.
It's what's that hero called? Montag? Guy Montag, Firebat. Definitely Hero Firebat. Definitely pulling his weight. And yeah, now we do see the Ultralisk out, okay? Ultralisk, he does have like 4 in total armor carapace on it, but he doesn't have speed on it yet. And Light, he does have 1/1 for his Marines. Now, the thing is that nicely rated. You want to soften out those Ultralisks, but yeah, good on Light for pulling back from that. When you fight Ultralisk as Terran, you really gotta consolidate your Marine ball, right? Mm-hmm. Strength in numbers. It's no longer, you know, in the early game where you can have a couple of Marines like guarding different expansions. You have to consolidate. And it looks like Hero is pulling the trigger. This could be a good timing because what Light is really looking for is his +2.
Yes.
You really need +2 on your infantry to be able to fight these Ultralisks because they're just so tanky, right? Mm-hmm. And looks like his upgrades are almost done. So if Hero waits to attack, his army might just get cleaned up. In fact, it's really tiny right now. He does not have a lot of Ultralisk numbers. He does not have a lot of even Zerglings. In fact, right? And I think this is because of all the harass that Light did, right? And the delayed gas. Another drop going down in the main, by the way. But dropship does get sniped, and they will get cleaned up. So good play by Hero. But again, looking at the map, a huge amount of pink, right? A huge scar of pink moving across the map. I don't know how Hero's going to deal with this.
Yeah, I think Hero kind of did as best as they could here, considering how the early game played out. But now Light is pushing across the map with a sizable army and actually using the eraser trick to take out a bunch of drones at the 4th base. And what does Hero have as like a counterplay? Sure, they have Ultralisk and Defiler tech out, but they don't really have a lot of drones to continually rebuild their army. And so they were able to trade away some of it to make Terran lift off their 3rd base and stuff. But Terran was able to clean it up, and now they're over on Zerg's side of the map, kind of dictating the pace of the game, with drops into the main and attacks into the 4th base. There is a Zergling run by at the 3rd base location for Terran, but it does get cleaned up eventually, and not too much damage for Terran. Here comes the Ultralisk actually moving across the field with some Zergling reinforcements.
That looks like he's trying to get something done at the third. I like it, but you know, it's going off what you were saying earlier. The Zerg's economy is kind of in shambles, man, and he has Ultras tech, like you said. He has Defiler tech, and he has Cracklings. Well, they're not really like crack standard yet because they're not in GG. Yeah, they're not fully upgraded. But he just doesn't have the numbers because he doesn't have the economy, right?
Yeah, I think you got to give a lot of credit to Light there for taking out the eco.
Yeah, definitely well played by Light. He definitely really hit his stride. Great game from both players.
Alright, so that's it for game 1. Hopefully we'll see you all in the next video where we'll continue casting this series between these two great players.